Good evening. Tutor John with a question from Notay. He says, the quotient of a number and -5 increased by 1 is at most 7, right? And so at the end, he's trying to say, how do I solve this problem? Well, the first thing we have to do is kind of unpack this problem. Let's take a look at what we see here. So the first thing I notice is I've got this word, quotient. And so I've made a little notation here to myself that the quotient is the answer to a division problem. Excellent. But then there's this weird twist, right? At most. At most. What does at most mean? Well, it means 7 would work, 6 would work, 8 wouldn't work, right? So that means another way of saying at most is saying less than or equal to. So it's at most 7. Excellent. So let's break this apart. The quotient of a number, so the answer to a division problem, x is the number we don't know, and -5. If we increase that answer by 1, so plus 1, is at most 7. In other words, less than or equal to 7. Well, rather than solving your original problem, what I've done is I've set up a similar problem over here, right? And that way you can solve the problem for yourself so you feel the sense of accomplishment in doing that. And that is the quotient of a number and -2. Let's see, a number. We know it's a division because it says it's a quotient, and it's -2. Increased by 3, so plus 3, is at most 12. So we know that the number is less than or equal to 12. So what's the thing we got to do? Well, we got to remember, right? Let's grab my other pen here a second. Get rid of this. When we say over here, so we say, right? So the opposite of addition, we want to get this by itself. So the opposite of addition is subtraction. So we'll say -3. And whatever we do to one side of the problem, we always have to do the other. So -3. Well, positive 3 minus 3 cancels out. And so we're left with x divided by -2, that's gone, is less than or equal to, what is 12 minus 3? Well, it's 9. You say, well, number one, I don't like fractions, right? Number two, I'm not any closer to the answer. So the question is, if I unravel this one more time, if we go one level deeper, the opposite of division is multiplication. So I'm going to say times -2. And I'm going to say, whatever I do to one side, I got to do the other, times -2. Well, let's see. If I have -2 divided by -2, that's going to cancel out, and I'm left with just x. We know x is less than or equal to. All right, let me fix that. Less than, good. Less than or equal to. What is 9 times -2? Well, it's less than or equal to -18. Right. Excellent. So we could start plugging in values there. We could graph it. We could do a lot of things with it. What I'm going to do at this point, Notay, is leave you with this and say, now that you know how the problem is set up, why don't you find the answer and put it in the comments below. Have a good evening.